Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever time it is that you're watching this video right now. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Talk with Viv, and as you all know, my name is Vivian. Thank you for joining me on today's episode. Thank you to my old subscribers. Thank you to the new people who are watching, and I hope that you subscribe. Please click on the subscribe button and on the bell notifications too, so that you can know when I drop new videos and new content. As you all know, this YouTube channel, I run two series. I have the fashion education series where I talk about how to study fashion in Nigeria, made it easy for everybody. And we also have the body image and positivity series where we talk about body image issues, body shaming, body negativity, self-esteem that has to do with the body. You know, because these are two topics that I love the most, that I can relate with well, so I like to come here and talk about it and share my knowledge. So on today's episode, we'll be doing the fashion education series. So like promised in the previous videos, this is going to be one of our topic in the fashion education series, and like I promised that I'm going to bring in you a list of private institutions that you can study fashion design at if you do not want to go to public universities or polytechnics. So you have to pay attention and listen to everything I'm going to give you a list of the private institutions that you should go to study and things you should watch out for. Number one. Before we go into number one fully, I'm going to let people know that I'm not going to be mentioning names of any place, any fashion academy or anywhere. No, I am not going to be doing that, right? Because I'm not going to be telling you, oh, go here, don't go here, do here, don't do here. I'm only going to be giving you points, right? Points of the kind of private institutions you should go to learn fashion design in, and points of where you should not go to. So now it is left to your discretion to know how to apply what you're going to be learning. These points I'm going to be giving you, and know the right places for you to go to learn fashion design. So let's get straight into number one. First point, number one, is that any fashion institutions that you would want to go to study fashion design from, private institutions, maybe fashion academies where they teach only fashion design, or maybe fashion academies, or maybe at anywhere as far as it's not a pub or vocational centers, as far as it's not a government-owned institution. One thing I would like to advise, one point, number one, is that you should make sure that wherever it is you're going to learn, they also offer tailoring services to people. I hope you understand. Go for places where they also offer tailoring services to people of all sizes, make both ready to wear and bespoke, either ready to wear and or bespoke. The reason is this: when you go to learn in places where they only teach, there are a lot of things that are different from what you see in textbooks when it comes to fashion design. For one, most of the people who write fashion design textbooks are foreigners, Europeans, and they have a particular type of body that we here with the African woman or African man, it's different, right? So it will be better. That is one point you should look out for. It will be better for wherever you're learning from, for them to be also catering to the sartorial needs of people. You know, have they worked with these things they're going to teach you? Have they dressed people? Have they noticed the peculiarities between the bodies of the European women and our women? And have they been able to, modify the patterns that they've learned from the textbook to fit the body of the African woman? I'm not saying it is by force, but for me, it is something that I always watch out for. If I'm advising anybody to go and learn, anyway, if you're going to a private institution, I would advise you first and foremost, be sure to make sure that these people offer sartorial needs to people, to other people. If you want, especially if you're thinking of going into the female fashion line, right, make sure that wherever you're learning from, they offer sewing services. They sew for people, maybe bespoke, maybe ready to wear, and it's going to be a big help to you in the future while establishing your own brand, or while working as a stylist or as a lead stylist for another brand. Now, point number two, private institutions where you can learn fashion design from. Make sure that you go through their social media handles or their catalog that shows what they are doing, and look for signs of growth and evolution with the changing times and trends. What I mean is, when you want to learn fashion design with somebody, go ahead and look at what this person has been doing over the years. Has this person still stuck to the previous styles of doing things? Is this person still doing the old styles that people are no longer looking for? Or does this person evolve with time? Nowadays, corsets and corsets seems to have taken the hold. Like everywhere you go, you see corsets, illusion styles, this and that. Is this person evolving, or are they still stuck on doing things the old way? Right? There's nothing bad about doing things the old sweet way, but is this person evolving? Can you see change? Is this person getting better as time is going on? Or have they been the same way they have been since 2014 as they started their brand? Are they the same way now in 2023? Or have you seen changes? Have they gotten better? Have they gotten better at marketing their business? Have they gotten better at their social media presence? Have they gotten better in their work? You can always see you can see a brand's quality by what they post online. Pay attention to the stitches, to what they show. Do they care about neatness from what they show on their posts? Do they care? Do they change? Do they care about the way? Do they use the things people are using now? Do they try to do the new stuff people are doing now? Go through this person's social media catalog, maybe Facebook, maybe Instagram, or maybe if you can go physically, and make sure that this person is evolving with time. If this person is not evolving with time and the trends and is not getting better with what they are doing, do not go there to learn. That is my candid advice to you. Move to number 3. Number 3, private institutions where you can learn fashion designing. Private institutions that have online or catalogs or social media presence where you can make a first-time impression from. Look, first-time impressions matters. It is good. You need to make your impression. You cannot just register and then go there and discover some things you don't like and begin to regret. You need to be able to make your first-time impression from something. So now you need to look for brands that have an online presence. Then go through make sure they have things they're posting. Like, some brands have online presence, but they have nothing to show on their on their page or on their handles, and then you're like, okay, what is this for? The reason why I'm saying this is because, yes, sometimes we say, oh, some people are not good with online presence and all, but no matter how bad you are with online presence, there should be some way you would have been able to post videos, proof of something that you are doing, proof to show people you're doing. You show that you care about showing your business up and well to the public who don't know you closely or privately or personally, right? What if somebody online comes across and falls in love with what you're doing? Right now, this way that means that this person is serious about business, and you also you will be able to pick up 1 or 2 good tips about this person business wise, and also you'll be able to make your first impression, because according to our number 2 point, you have to see if the person is growing with the trends, right? And times, what if you don't see anything you can make your impression or your decision from? I mean, if the person is in a different city from where you are, you certainly will not be going somewhere fast and make your judgments. Make sure the person has an online presence where you can make your judgments for. Now, that is not totally important because some people do not have online presence, but they are good at what they do, right? But if you can help it, find out if this person has an online presence, go through what the person has done so you can make your impression and your judgment for. So now let's go to number 4. The 4 private institutions where you can learn fashion designing from that I will give you kudos. The number 4 point is that learn from people who show pictorial or video evidences of their students' progress and growth, their teaching process. And this goes for both people who teach only, academics who teach, or academic for fashion design who teach only, and people who sew and teach. Make sure that even if they don't have a page for solely only their students, go and look at it. Do they post their students' progress? Are they always showing up and saying, oh, look at what our students did, look at what this person did, look at their graduation, look at this and this. Now, any brand that is proud about their students' progress, I'm telling you, that place is a good place to learn. It means that they are very intentional about the students' growth. It means that the students are growing well. That is why they are able to show progress. You can't show progress and growth where there is none. You cannot show evidences where there is none. Now, this person who is always coming up with showing you, oh, this is what we're doing today, this is what we did this week, this is how these people have been progressing. In the past 6 months, she came like this, and this is what she can do, and this is how we help, so and so. This person is intentional about their students. This brand is intentional about their students. So you can be sure that you will get your money's worth when you go to places like this, because these people will make sure that they have evidence that they keep on showing people online that, okay, this is a place you can be in. Right now, it is not fake. Now, for people who have academics and so also, but they don't have pictorial evidences, I don't know, maybe I feel they're not one of the best places to go to, because if it is your business, if it is something you do, if that is the thing that is put into your hands, like your ministry, you need to be able to show us evidence that we're seeing good growth, right? So why don't we have evidences? Why don't you have pictures? Why? Is it because you're not really doing as great as you're supposed to be doing? Or is it because you don't take it important to show people that you are actually doing well? Now, it is important. You might say, oh, it's so important, but let me tell you something. It is important to show how well you're doing. It is important to show the good things you're doing so people can know what you are doing. Now, when you're not showing it, we don't have anything to go on. We don't know if you are doing well or you're not doing well. We cannot say for sure. So make sure that, as I said in number 4, these people are always showing pictorial and video evidences of how far their students are going, the student progress, the students' work, and their space. Now, let's move to number 5. Number 5 point is go for private institutions with positive student reviews. Now, this number 5, you might not get it every time. It might not be easy. What I mean, it might not be easy because you might not always be able to see their former students. Now, what I mean by institutions with positive student reviews is, if possible, if you can find out students who have learned from these brands before. See if you can You know, ask them, how was your time there? Did you enjoy it? Was it a good place? You know, many a times you will get your truth from them, especially if you ask with prudence. Don't just bombard them and say, oh, I want to know. No, you know, be smart about it. See how you can go about it. If a person is not satisfied with their experience with a brand, especially when it comes to teaching, because they have spent money, if they feel that they have not been taught well or they were cheated, they will come out straight and tell you. They will tell you, might not want to tell you not to go, not to go. They'll say, well, I didn't really enjoy because so and so, or well, so and so happened, so and so happened. And if it was a good place, rest assured, they will tell you, look, that place is the best place you can learn. So try and see if you can get good students from this. And if it's not online, if you know this place, if it's somewhere you know physically, and you know a few students, maybe you're friends with them or you also talk with them, ask them, okay, look, how was this place? Did you learn a lot? Did you learn well? Do you think that they equipped you with major of the information and the things and the technique and skills that you need to be a good designer? And see what they tell you. That's number 5. It is important. You might not always get it, but it's always important. People will never lie about their experiences in a place where they went to learn. So now let's move to number 6. Number 6, pay attention to how well the academy is willing to show their space, their students' progress and learning, the learning materials. Look, see, many people don't have proper learning spaces. Many people don't have proper learning materials, and as such, they will not show. That is why I said I do not trust anybody that don't show their brand, their students' progress or anything. I don't trust, because it might be because they don't have proper learning space. Some people don't have proper learning spaces. They teach their students together with with the stylists that are sewing. Now they may feel like they may say, oh, so that you can learn well, but rest assured it's not that. It is better for students to have their own learning space and stylists have their own learning space, so nobody will interfere. Now some people will not show because they don't have the standard requirements that everybody needs, and yet they're collecting high amounts, right? So when these brands are not showing their students' spaces, they're not showing their students' progress, they're not showing what their students are doing, rest assured that you might not really enjoy that place. You might regret paying after you pay. Especially when you go also physically to their studio and you ask them, oh, can I see this space? And they say no. That's a big red sign, like a big no alert for me. Now, I hope you understand that. Now let's move on to number 7. Number 7. What is the duration that these people are going to teach you what you want to learn? And for what amount? Look, some people are only focused on the profit and not on the impact. They're only looking for what they will gain from you and not what they will put into you. So you have to be careful of those people and run away from them. Now, I'm not saying when it is expensive, it means they will teach you well. No, sometimes. In fact, when it's expensive, it means you will get all your materials that you need and you'll be taught. But sometimes, many a times, these people will only give you the materials and may not even teach you well. You might not get the proper quality, the proper things you need to get, the proper information that you need, right? Despite the amount you've paid. You might hear some brands offering basic class for 3 months. And then they'll tell you don't have to come every day, 3 times in a day. There's actually nothing you can learn in 3 months for basic. You can learn something, but I assure you to be a waste of money. And if you're really interested in being a fashion designer, you would go to another person's brand or studio or academy to learn more, and then you'll be regretting. You can never learn everything that the basic students or fashion design student needs to learn in 3 months. At least 5 to 6 months. And then you have to come every day, or more than 4 times in a week. And it's not going to be only short hours in a day. So don't go for, maybe for most of you who will always say, oh, I don't want to spend one time, I just want to do it shortly and then start making money. No, it's not like that. It doesn't work like that. You have to learn for at least 6 months basic class, and then intermediate, maybe another 6 or 1 year. Why do you think some people go for apprenticeship for up to a year in fashion design? Because you need to be able to learn everything you need. You cannot learn everything as a student. Why working for people, or why working with your own studio, you will learn other things while working. So you shouldn't be in a rush to finish. So in this case, it's people like you that are in a rush that are always scammed by these people. They tell you, come and learn everything that is to be in the basic class in 3 months for 150,000 or 100,000 naira, and you carry your money and you go and pay. And you really expect that you learn everything. It's not possible. And then at the end of the course, you keep on abusing the person who called you. You allowed yourself to be scammed. If you want to be a fashion designer, you have to put your mind, your body, your soul into it. You cannot just learn it and start making money in 3 months at all. You have to put your mind into it. So I'm telling you, people out there that want to rush and finish and go and start making money, it can't work like that. Check the duration. Now, if you're somebody who already knows how to sew and just wants to upgrade some parts, maybe in the corset or in bustier making, or in making pants, trousers, or making a particular kind, maybe blazers, yes, you can learn that in a month even. If it's beading, you can even learn beading in 2 weeks, right? Sure, some brands are offering specific course, like specified areas of courses for some months, for some weeks, that is not bad. And it can be expensive because when you're upgrading, it's always expensive, no matter how small the course is, because you're upgrading. But when it comes to basic classes or intermediate classes, you want to go for full classes. Please, you cannot learn intermediate class or basic class in 3 months, even if you're coming every day. At some point, you might get tired, your brain might get too cluttered, and you will need to refresh. So 6 months minimum, 5 months minimum, please. Always watch out and don't let yourself be scammed. And let's move to number 8. I've picked out the best parts and left the worst parts that will affect you. So go and check online. Go and check, sir. Go and check there. Check online. But number 8 point here is don't trust on only online proof. Go physical, because all that glitters is not gold. And this thing goes for also those who want to work as stylists or want to work in managerial positions for fashion brands. Go and check physically. Go to the studios, go to the space, and check out what I'm seeing online. Is it really what is happening in real time? Number 9, now that we have agreed that you should go physical, go to their studio. Now, when you get there, pay attention to whoever is attending to you. Pay attention to how you're being attended to. Pay attention to the dynamics of that place, of that environment. Now, what I mean is this. What I mean by paying attention to the dynamics is when you get to this studio or to this space, who is attending to you first? Who is this person? Is it the owner? Is it the creative director of the brand? Or is it the head of admin of the academics? Is it the owner of the place, the person who runs the place? Or is it somebody, an assistant or a tutor? Who is it? Or is it a manager who is attending to you? Then pay attention to the body language. Is this person sure of what they're saying? Like, does this person sounding certain that, yes, when I'm telling you that this is the amount of time you'll be spending, this is the things you need. When I'm telling you that, okay, you have tutors, are well experienced, and they know what they're doing, does this person sound sure? Or is this person stammering and is this person at unease? Then does this person keep on calling the boss to confirm things before telling you? Does this person keep on calling the boss to say, oh, should I say this? Should I say that? Is this person scared to tell you, to confirm information to you? Ask to see the space where you will learn. Ask to see the material. Ask to see things. Ask to know things. Ask your questions and see how this person is responding to you. Are they sure of what they are saying? Are they confident? Now, if they're not confident, my dear sister or my dear brother, think twice. Now, also ask, will the creative director themselves or will the main tutor, the head tutor or the head of the establishment run some classes? If they say no, I think you should express discomfort. Say you don't like how it's looking. But then listen to what the person is going to say. If the person assures you that, oh, you don't need the tutor to be, we have people who are making up extremely well for the lack of the creative director's presence, then you're good to go. But if the person is not unsure, in fact, see, pay body attention to whoever is attending to. If the place looks like they're not unsure of what they're doing, and that when the boss is not there, they lack direction, they lack lead, or that they're always waiting for lead from somebody who is far away to give them lead before they can do something, before they can drink water, before they can open door for you, before they can tell you yes or no. But they don't stay there because you will hate your stay there. Most times the tutors might not even know what to do. They will need to be calling for confirmation for things. Most times they may not even give you authority to do some things, or they might not be able to teach you well because the boss is not around who will teach you. Or sometimes they might even skip some parts of your curriculum because they don't know how to teach it, and the boss who is supposed to teach you is not around, or did not give them the go ahead to teach what they know. So if their place is unsure, they don't know what they are doing, because the boss is not around, I advise you to not go there. But if they seem sure, then it means that there is structure there and that the boss has left a very good structure in place, that whether she is there or not, lessons will go on, proper lessons will go on, you'll be taught rightly, and there are people to make sure that the quality is maintained. Then you can go. That's why I say check the body language. Now let's move to number 10 points before you pick that private institution that you want to go to. My brothers and sisters, according to the gospel of picking the right place, please and please do not let popularity of a brand influence your decision. You can see, okay, maybe you have one popular designer, Chichi the foreigner, Chichi the big designer, and then you have Amaka the designer whose place is not so big and glamorous like Chichi's place. And then despite seeing that Amaka is good with what she's doing and she's growing and she teaches well, Chichi is in another city, Amaka is here beside you. But because Chichi is one celebrated designer, you're like, I want to go to Chichi's place without making due diligence, without making your due research. You don't pay for Chichi's class and you traveled and you went. And then you find out that Chichi actually doesn't know how to sew. Chichi knows nothing about fashion except pairing and styling and wearing fine clothes and representing the brand. And that Chichi employed people from other countries or other people who know how to sew to cut and sew for her. And that Chichi doesn't know whether her tutors are teaching you the right thing or the wrong thing. My brothers and sisters, if the tutors are wicked and they are not paying attention to their jobs, you will come out empty as you went in. And you will go back to Amaka, who you once rejected, to teach you that same thing, you're going to pay millions and teach this place, being the popular and well-celebrated brand. Please and please, do your due diligence and do not let popularity of a brand deceive you. Most times the smaller brands know what they're doing. The smaller brands put in more work so that they can get people to trust them, pay them well, so they can become like bigger brands. But sometimes the bigger brands you see are not really all. Like I say, all that glitters is not gold. Do not let popularity of a brand deceive. Do not let popularity of a brand make you take decisions that you regret tomorrow. Do your due diligence. If Amaka has all it takes to make a good fashion designer out of you, please go to Amaka. Nobody needs to know where you learned from. All they need to know is that you have knowledge, you have skill. Nobody wants to know where you learn from. All they want to know is that you are good. Number 11, points you should check out before you go to that fashion institution. This is number 11. It's important to me, and I think it should be important to you too. And I hope you've been counting these points and writing them down. Great. If you did not write down these points from the beginning, even though you should have known, because I mentioned I'll be mentioning points, you should have just go back now and take your pen and your book and start this video from the beginning once we are done to play. Or you list out these points as I'll be recapping them again. You need to go back and write down your important points. Now, number 11, which is very important, very, very important, because now we see in fashion, things are evolving, evolving at a fast pace too. Different styles are coming up, different things are coming up, different embellishment techniques, different beading techniques, different cutting techniques, different sewing techniques. So you need to know more. Before, we used to cut freehand. Nobody used to complain. But now there's some styles you can never sew with freehand. You need to first draft your pattern. We now understand what pattern drafting is better, and we know that it helps our product come out better. So many a times you need to first work with patterns before you go straight to your fabric. Now, by 11 points, they are divided into two. The first part is go for brands that do both pattern and freehand. Pattern, because there are some styles that you can never sew without doing your pattern, and so you can understand what pattern will do for you. About checking some parts of your clothes, making sure that you have a ready-made and perfect working pattern before you move to your clothes, so you do not waste your fabrics and you also bring out the best results that your brand can bring out. Pattern, because you'll be able to understand that there is not only one type of pattern technique. A good brand will teach you that. Make sure that they do pattern drafting and that they understand it perfectly, so that you can understand how there are various ways of doing patterns that will help your brand and your business as a fashion designer. Also, you need to learn freehand, because you also need to be able to pick two different techniques, mesh them together, and bring out the best brand. You cannot only know one, you need to know the two, so you can work well with the two, and the two will help you to grow to become a good designer. Now, the second part of this number 11 is that you should ask them when you go physically to their studio. Ask to see something they've made. Did they do ready to wear? Did they do bespoke? Ask them, can I see some of your products? Can I see some of the things you've done? And then look through them. Look inside. Look at the wrong side of the outfit. Check their stitches. Does this brand focus on neatness? Do they just sew haphazardly? When you pick the clothes, does it look dirty and rough? Some people sew and then it fits well, but when you look at the clothes, inside and outside, it's nothing to write about. It's not neat. It's not neat. They don't handle clothes well. When you have somebody who doesn't handle clothes and doesn't teach and doesn't sew neatly, teach you, what will you learn? That's the same product you give us. And now people are getting more conscious about getting the best results for fashion designers. If this person ticks all of the good points and it's only this one, maybe if they are fair in their neatness, you can still manage and then how to sew neatly later on. But I think neatness is something that should be very important to you, and it will help you really a lot. So that's all of the 11 points. This is the end of this video, and for our next video, we'll be doing the body image and positivity series. You're going to enjoy that. So, like you all know, this is Talk with Viv. My name is Vivian. We've been discussing 10 points plus 1 that you need to tick before you pick that institution, that fashion brand, that academy as a place where you want to learn fashion design from, if you are not going to a public university or polytechnic. So bye and see you next time. I love you all.